Conservative New Media viewers, JLin fans around the world, Charlotte Hornets fans around the world, what's up? It's me, PFA, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we're here to discuss Charlotte's 108-104 victory tonight over the Washington Wizards in Charlotte, North Carolina. With the win, the Hornets improved to 25-26 on the season. The Wizards dropped to 22-27 for the year. Let's go over stats quickly. John Wall, 23.6 rebounds, 10 assists, played an excellent game tonight. Marcin Gortat, 11 points, 13 rebounds. Otto Porter Jr., 20 points, 8 rebounds for the Wizards. Jared Dudley, 10 points. Bradley Beal off the bench, sporting a face mask for what I guess is a broken nose or some type of facial ailment. 22 points and 3 assists. Turning to the Hornets, Nicholas Batum was the high man, a near triple-double, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. Kemba Walker, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Marvin Williams, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, 9 points. Cody Zeller, 8 points, 9 rebounds. Spencer Hawes played really well in this game, 14 points, 4 rebounds. JLin, 7 points, no rebounds, 1 assist. He played 23 minutes tonight, which was the most for any bench player. Shot 3 of 5 from the field, including 1 of 1 from three-point range. No free throw attempts, no steals, no block shots, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, and Jeremy's plus-minus was a +4. Why did the Hornets win this game? They won this game because after they really weren't good in the first half, in particular the second quarter, they found their energy, particularly the starters, and they were outstanding in the third quarter. They outscored Washington 30-17 in the third quarter to give themselves a 3-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. And then this game came right down the stretch. And with the game on the line, JLin hit 2 huge shots. One was a reverse layup. The other one was a three-pointer on a play that was run for him. And then Washington hit a couple of big shots. Basically, Charlotte made their free throws, and they snatched the victory tonight in a way that they were not able to do last night. And right after this game ended, Nick Batum was interviewed on court by Stephanie Reddy of the Hornets broadcast. And he basically said, in the first half, we were still thinking about last night. And it definitely looked like that. They had no energy. They were still feeling bad about losing last night in a game that they could have won. But then they turned it all around. I don't know what Coach Clifford said at halftime, but it worked. And fortunately, they got the win tonight. And now, with one game left on the current homestand, they can get back to 500. They're one game under 500. You win that game, and we'll talk about that later. You're back at 500. You're basically 0-0, and you're right on the edge of being in the playoffs. And you're almost fully healthy. You only have 2 more games before the All-Star break. And after the All-Star break, there's a very real chance that you're going to be at full strength because Al Jefferson might be back then. So things are lining up for this team, and they really needed this victory tonight, and they got it. How did Jeremy play in the game? He played okay for most of the game. He kind of had a minor role, and fans were upset about it on Twitter and so forth. And then he played super great when he had to in the clutch, which is exactly what he does. And you give credit to Coach Clifford because he knows that. Unlike coaches like Byron Scott apparently don't seem to know. and he used it tonight, and it worked. Jeremy delivered for Coach Clifford, who believed in him to let him have a chance to deliver. Okay? That's the overview. Let's talk about some things here specifically. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm not going to do a full quarter by quarter because, honestly, Jeremy didn't do much for much of this game. Let's go over the last two plays that in which he scored on. Okay, the situation when Jeremy made his first shot down the stretch. Here's the situation. Coach Clifford decided to do what is known, and I talked about this in the last video, the Miami Heat video from last night. He did what is known as an offense for defense switch. This is the reason why he kept changing between JLin and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. The concept here is Jeremy is better on offense than Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is better than Jeremy on defense. And so every time that the team takes a timeout, he's going to switch them, depending on if they're playing offense or defense. And it paid off. It worked great in this circumstance for Coach Clifford. So, right before Jeremy scored his first of two stretch baskets here, that had just happened, which is Clifford took a timeout. I think, whatever the situation was, Clifford substituted Jeremy in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. The score was 97-96 for Charlotte at that point in time, a 1-point game. There were 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. The Hornets went down on offense. They ran a play. The play kind of broke down, meaning that the original play idea didn't happen. So you had JLin with the ball about 45 degrees or so right of the top of the arc with the ball in his hand, and the shot clock was winding down. Jeremy made a quick decision. He drove to his left, so he's driving right to left here. He drove to the opposite side of the basket, so he drove to the left side of the basket from the right side, and he shot a reverse layup, and he hit it. And that was huge. I think after that play, so he scored that play. That made it 101-98. There was a minute 25 left. Washington took a timeout. Okay, and after Washington's timeout, then Clifford switched it again, meaning he took Jeremy out now and put Michael in because now Charlotte was on defense. The first time when he did it, Washington was able to score. So, in other words, it didn't work in this instance. Michael wasn't able to get a stop. And they actually put an isolation play against him, and they scored. That made the score at the time 101-100. Clifford then took another timeout with 36 seconds left in the game and 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Put Jeremy back in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and they ran a play that was designed to get JLin the ball in the right corner, all the way like 90 degrees right of the top of the arc on the right side, so that he could shoot a three-pointer. They ran the play. Jeremy got the ball. He shot the ball. Swish. That made the score 104-100. Huge, huge shot. And look, Jeremy made the shot, which was incredible. Give credit to Clifford. I said this on Twitter. If you watch the post-game interview with Coach Clifford after the Cleveland game, which is 2 games ago now, when Jeremy performed so well, one of the reporters asked him about that, and basically Clifford said, look, if you've watched Jeremy's career, he likes the ball late. He wants the ball in his hands late. He wants to take big shots. He's confident, which is, you want guys that want shots, because as silly as it sounds, not everybody wants the ball late. They really don't. Some guys get nervous. They don't do well in that circumstance. Well, Jeremy's the opposite of that. He does great in those circumstances. Clifford knew that. Jeremy had just scored a layup, and he's like, okay, we're going to run another play for him. Jeremy delivered with the three-pointer. So that was gigantic. The game wasn't quite over yet, though. Washington took the timeout. There were 29 seconds left. Washington came down. They missed their shot. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist got a good stop there. Then Charlotte was fouled. They hit one of two free throws. Then Washington came down. They hit a three-pointer. That made it 105-103. Basically, then they started doing the free throws, and then we take a jump shot when Washington has a ball. Fortunately, with 2 seconds left, Kemba was fouled. He made two free throws. That made the score 108-104, and that would be the final score as Washington made an attempt, but it wouldn't matter because there's no 4-point shots, and there was only 2 seconds left. So that's how the game ended. But Jeremy Lin scoring the final 2 field goals for Charlotte. It wasn't technically the game winner, his three-pointer, but it's essentially it set up the game-winning free throws. So that's what happened. Jeremy performed magnificently. He ended up with 23 minutes, as I said, and Clifford used him. He found a way to include Jeremy late in the game. And I said that I think a lot of times he's going to use Michael Kidd-Gilchrist rather than Jeremy in this finishing group. But tonight he used both of them. Look, if that can work, then do that. Again, Clifford is a defensive-minded coach. I mean, he likes defense. So, I mean, I think he will lean towards Michael a lot. But certainly, you still need to score the ball. And Jeremy definitely made his case for getting playing time down the stretch tonight. I think that's no question about that. So, really happy for the team. Really happy for Jeremy. Now, let's talk about this. Why is it that people are really upset because they feel like, look, Jeremy did great against Cleveland. And so right after he does great against Cleveland, now Clifford's taking him out of the finishing group. Why is he doing that? Why is he going to Michael Kidd-Gilchrist rather than Jeremy, even though Jeremy just showed what he could do against Cleveland? The reason why Clifford's doing that, yes, he's a defensive-minded coach and Michael's a better defender than Jeremy is. The reason why he's doing it, though, I think even above that, is he needs to evaluate that unit. And he hasn't really had an opportunity to do it. And what I mean by that unit, I mean Kemba, Nick Batum, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Marvin Williams, and for now, Cody Zeller. Although it's probably going to end up being Al Jefferson in that group. He hasn't had a chance. Clifford has not had an opportunity to examine that unit really late in games because Michael Kidd-Gilchrist just got back from injury. So even if maybe Clifford decides, maybe he watches that unit for a couple of games and then he decides, you know what? It's going to work out better if we put Jeremy back in there rather than Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. But it could happen. Or maybe he alternates like he did tonight. But Clifford, I think in his own mind, he feels like he must do that. I mean, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is one of the centerpieces of the Hornets organization. He's a young star. He's on the rise. They're not going to bench him. They're at least going to give him a chance so that he can be evaluated in that circumstance. And that's why I think Clifford's doing it. He's got to look at that unit, and he's got to see it, and then he'll make his decision. I don't know what's going to happen. As I said, I wouldn't get your hopes up if I was a Jeremy Lin fan, because I think the reality is that Jeremy knew coming into this situation that he wasn't going to be a starter, or almost certainly wasn't going to be a starter. And Ken was going to be a starter. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was assumed to be a starter. So was Nick Batum, and so forth. So I hope Jeremy gets to play more late in the games, but I don't think Jeremy's going to be devastated if he doesn't, because he knew what the situation was. So I'm just saying that even if that occurs, even if we go the rest of the season here, the last 31 games of the season, and Jeremy's not playing late in games, that's not like the end of the world or whatever. I think it's Jeremy's going to be fine. Jeremy has already demonstrated a lot this season. You saw what he did against Cleveland. You see what he does tonight. He's played great this year. As PER has gone down somewhat, I don't know, it's maybe like 14.7 or something coming in tonight. It'll go down tonight, but the PER doesn't look good, but he's played well this year. And he's had to perform a lot at shooting guard rather than point guard. And that means some of his defensive statistics are a little bit down, but he's guarding large shooting guards. So all things considered, he's learning a new system. He's playing at shooting guard. He's done well. There's no question about that. And as I've pointed out in various videos, he's improving all the time. So, but that's why I think Clifford's doing that. He's got to look at that group. He's got to try it out. That's like the default starting/finishing group that I think he has in his head. So he's at least going to try it. But as we said tonight, he altered it tonight, and it paid off by doing that. So maybe we will see that more. I hope we do. I hope Jeremy gets to play late in the games, because he's great in those situations. Tonight was an excellent win. This definitely sets up the big showdown on Monday night, and that will be against the Chicago Bulls. Monday, February 8th, here in the United States, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That means the game's going to take place on Tuesday, February 9th at 8 a.m. in the morning in Taipei, Taiwan, and throughout China. And the Hornets are getting a break. And that's because Bulls star Jimmy Butler is going to miss that game, the starting shooting guard for them. I think he's playing shooting guard right now, not small forward. Butler hurt his knee. He's probably the Bulls' best player, and that's a big help. The Bulls are good, but they've been kind of they haven't been playing great lately. So that's the showdown for 500 for the Hornets. They're going to be very motivated. They're going to be ready. I expect them to play an excellent game in that game. I don't know what the Bulls are going to, I don't know what their motivation level will be like. Hopefully it's not that big, but they need to win too. I think they have a relatively secure spot still in the playoffs, even though they've been losing a fair amount lately. So, look, an excellent night tonight. Jeremy, he doesn't have big stats or whatever. He was critical for the win. He was ready to play. He was ready to be clutch when they needed him to. This certainly helps him. It helps his reputation. It helps his standing with Coach Clifford. I can't wait to hear what Coach Clifford says in the post game, as well as Jeremy. I'm sure they should be really interesting, and I'm sure Clifford will say once again that he knows Jeremy Lin likes the ball late, and Jeremy Lin delivers, which is what happened tonight. So it's just a really great result tonight all the way around. Team wins, Lin's key, and we're only one game away from 500. Finally. Like I said, this team has been through so much stuff. If they can get back to 500 and they get basically full health, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be they're going to be good. They're going to have a really solid chance of making the playoffs then, because they will know that they've already beaten all the adversity, and now they're back on solid ground as compared with being lost at sea. So Monday is the day. The next game, it's going to be huge, big showdown. I can't wait. Like I said, the team was flat early in this game. They were still kind of feeling sorry for themselves for losing last night, but I expect them to come out full engine thrust burning against the Chicago Bulls in less than 48 hours. Man, that's going to be a great game. If they win that game, man, it's going to be good if they can win that game. So that's what's going on. Hope that you guys got to check out the game for yourself. It's another one of these nail biters that the Hornets seem to be in all the time. One of those games it feels like it takes about 4 weeks off your life once you're finished watching it, but it was worth it, and it was just fun. It was just another really fun, enjoyable game to watch, much as the Cleveland game was. So that is it for now. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Your comments below. We want to thank Gary Chen of the Jeremy Only Lin Garden Group. We also would thank the Jeremy Only Lin Garden Group for helping us out with Gary and everything they've done over the years for us. Gary is an artist and blogger in Taiwan, and you're looking at his artwork right now. He's obviously quite talented. Jeremy Only Lin Garden is a great group of Jeremy fans that are headquartered in Taiwan, but there are people all over the world that are members of the group. You can learn more about Gary and the group by visiting the information in the video description below the video player. You'll also find their information for checking out highlights of this game. Finally, in the video description, you will see how you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group and how you can come follow us on Twitter. I usually tweet out during the games because I know a lot of people that they'll follow Twitter, but they don't have the opportunity to watch the games when they're happening. So just kind of like connect with people and let them know what's going on while the game is in progress. So we hope you can come in there and join us as well. Once again, I am PFE Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. And you know what? I forgot the woo, the celebratory woo, so I will do it now. And I'll count down from 3, so if you don't like loud noises, you can skip this part of the video and just bypass the woo altogether. 3, 2, 1. Woo! This was great. It was enjoyable. The crowd was totally into it. And you have to remember, and I say this particularly for people who don't live in the United States, tomorrow night is the Super Bowl of American football. And Charlotte's team, the Carolina Panthers, which play in Charlotte, they're in the Super Bowl. So there's a whole kind of positivity and excited energy going on right now in the city. And I think the Hornets winning tonight kind of feeds into that. And you could see, the announcers are talking about the Super Bowl, and the people in the crowd are wearing their American football jerseys and stuff. So this is a good omen or a good sign for the Carolina Panthers tomorrow. It could end up being a really great weekend for sports in Charlotte. And certainly we wish good luck to all the Carolina Panther fans out there. I think they've got a very good chance to win that game tomorrow. I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I would definitely be going with the Carolina Panthers. So, a lot of fun right now down in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hope you're all having a great night or great day wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Take care. We'll talk to you again in, like I said, less than 48 hours. Really happy for Jeremy tonight. Really happy for the team tonight. This takes away all the pain of last night's loss. And like I said, now the team can look forward to Monday, and they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready, so it should be a whole bunch of fun. That is it for now. Take care, and we will talk to you less than 48 hours as the Chicago Bulls come to visit the Charlotte Hornets, Time Warner Cable Arena in Charlotte, North Carolina.